Hello. Who's here? Welcome. Karen's here. Thank you, Karen. How's it going? Our beautiful Harlem Sentinel. How's it going? Thank you for joining. And please let me know, sister, is the sound good? I see Molly is here. Hey, Molly. I was feeling a little festive. I have my little tambourine. I just love a tambourine. I need a really big tambourine, though. I'm feeling big tambourine vibes. I don't think I've ever had a big tambourine. Molly, welcome. Thank you so much for coming by. We're doing another rewind or retrospective of culture. I do say American culture, but you know, across the pond over there in England, we seem to have a lot of things that are intertwined, right? So sometimes we cover things going on there as well. So I want to get right into it. Kathy, hello, Kathy. Sky Song, I just love that name. Hello, thank you for joining. So we are up to, look at how far we have gotten. If you have been hanging out for these retrospectives, I want to thank you because we got through a lot of them. It's been 46 so far. We've started 1965. This is a 60-year retrospective. And look at how far we are. And I'm excited to get into, I told you, the mid 2010s, right? About the time when we started paying attention to a lot and started making a lot of connections. We'll be getting into the wiki leaks and those things, right? Remember the back channels? So it's coming. Just be patient. We're getting there. I want to thank anybody who is joining on Instagram. I try to see you all over on Instagram, but I don't always go over to that like tab and I don't see any comments. So I guess I have to look on my phone. I'm going to get it together, but come over to YouTube if you want to engage and I can see you. Okay. But in the meantime, let's get started. All right. So we are in the year 2010. So we've left, look how far we've gotten. Let's see. Kathy, what are you saying? Thanks, Jenny. I have to give credit to my son for the Sky Song handle. Really? Oh, nice. It sounds so good. Just even saying it, Sky Song. It's really good. Tell him he came up with a good one. Yeah, so do you remember 2010? Anybody? What were you doing? Do you know what you were doing? It's just one of those things. It wasn't that long ago, but then it was in a sense. So let me just make our graphics a little bit bigger so we can see it pretty good. And I didn't check to see, is the sound okay? Does it sound okay? I don't sound like I'm on the space shuttle, do I? Let me know. Do I sound like an astronaut? Please let me know. The guru is here. Hey, the guru. The guru, let me know. Do I sound like I'm in a tin can anymore? Let me know. It's 5 times 5. The sound is not muffled, is it? Because I've been trying to set the mic the correct way. I tried to, do the thing. So if it sounds good, let's continue on. Okay, again, we are episode 46, 2010. I titled this Recursive Culture, and you'll see why. It's really becoming very obvious. All right. So you can see some of the players on the stage, and you recall a few of them. Maybe you may need to be reminded. Like I wasn't sure about everybody on this timeline, but yeah, let's see. We've got, you probably remember, yeah, lots of different things going on. So let's get into it. All right. So let's see. All right, let's look at this infographic. This is the year of global breakthroughs and resilience. That's what we need, a lot of resilience, right? And this is the birth of the tablet. So we have more visual technology to enhance this social media new addiction that we are entering. We didn't know that we would be here, but the tablet, and it just made the images a lot bigger and drew us into this metaverse in a sense. Oh my goodness. Hello, 420 Wild Dragon. Much love to you. Thank you for coming by. How's it going up in Canada, Stan? Let us know. Hey, Juan, welcome. Hola. Thank you for joining. I know you could be doing so many things, but I appreciate you joining. Okay, so you can see we had pop music really dominating. I don't know what's going on with the music. That's all part of culture. Pop music doesn't seem to be popping anymore unless it's K-pop, right? So we have pretty much, what do you call it? What do you call that word when you take something and you send it somewhere else? Well, we did that with our pop culture. Now the Koreans have it, and people are enjoying the Korean pop, the K-pop. It seems it's doing pretty good. I love the K skincare. Can we say that the Koreans really have it? They really have it when it comes to skincare, and I guess pop music as well. So there it is, everybody. I don't know. You said they can have the pop music. I don't know if we'll regain our pop music prominence, but we've let it go. And yeah, there you are, people. So let's see. We had some global milestones and hardships that we'll get into, but this is just an overview. And the world's tallest building was erected over in Dubai. And I find that interesting. So before I get too long winded, let me make sure we get into the topics at hand. All right. So this is the year of Obamacare. Do you remember Obamacare? Did you enroll in Obamacare? The thing about Obamacare that I personally had issue with is the penalties that were assigned to anybody who did not opt in. Penalties and tax type of things that I didn't think that was a good idea. And it did not go over in terms of aging well. Anybody, you didn't do Obamacare? Yeah, so it was just not the greatest. Hillary tried it. Remember, they called it Hillary Care. Hillary and somebody else, another senator. I think he initially wrote this particular healthcare, and Hillary tried to push it through. She wasn't successful, but Obama was successful pushing it through and got his name branded on it. So there you are, Obamacare. This is the year of that. And Obama signed to repeal the don't ask, don't tell policy. And this, affecting our military. And I don't know, it seemed to have maybe long term implications. I'm not sure how I feel about any of this. I don't claim to speak for the LGBTQ. I don't know what it's like to have, I guess it's one of those things like, how would you know? It doesn't matter, in other words, to me, what you're doing. Um, as long as you're defending the country and you're not trying to change things around too much in terms of the gender stuff that's foisted on everybody. I think even the LGBTQs, they don't like all that. They don't agree with it. It was like everybody just, I don't know. It was cooler when everybody didn't make a big deal out of everything, right? Even down to just everything, gender, period. I'm over it. I'm just over all of it. It's become very tiresome. The feminism and this stuff, and it's just too much. Personally, it's my opinion, okay? So, yeah, you said, well, they've had him on the cover of Time magazine, and it said, our first gay president. He didn't seem to have a problem with it. So if he was, it's just, why not just be honest about it all? But there were a lot of strides that the LGBTQ community experienced under Obama. So this would be along the trajectory, and we see how that kind of affected the military. Is what I'm looking at this now, this retrospective, and making those connections. We had those generals. Remember the generals that were transgendered and just bizarro. Because when I think of the military, personally, I am one of those people that do not believe that women should be in combat. I know it's not a popular stance, but I don't believe in women being in combat. If they want to do ancillary things, that's different. But to be in combat is not good for women. And I heard this from a very dear friend, almost family, that is a Vietnam vet, and he told me how he personally dated a woman in the military. They were over in Vietnam, and she was in combat, I guess. I don't know. But when they got back, he said she was so fried, emotionally. It was just not good. And it's not good for women. And that's my opinion, period. All right, so we can see from this graphic here, the don't ask, don't tell. I guess a lot of them were fired under the policy of don't ask, don't tell. Didn't that come out with like Bill Clinton, I think, or whatever? So it just meant, I guess, keep it under wraps. Don't force it in our faces, right? So I guess this looks like the years where they had the most firings, I guess, was 2001. And you can see it kind of looks like a bell curve in a way. Am I right? So 2008, you had the least amount. It was just, I don't know, interesting. When you look at the discharges, that's what I mean, from 1994 to 2008, how that worked out. And also, this would be the year of the Haitian earthquake. Do you remember that? It was very tragic. I remember this was the year where they did the philanthropy via the phone. You could text your donation. Remember, they had a big drive to raise money for Haiti. And they raised a lot of money. I remember young people, which would be the millennial generation, they were very generous and giving of their money to this disaster relief. So I want to say that, the millennials, they get criticized a lot, but I remember personally witnessing millennials on their phone donating money. And I know it had a lot to do with also the social media outreach. They were able to really effectively target them. And when you think about that, it makes sense for a lot of things that we see now. And Haiti is still a mess. Yes. A lot of people went over grandstanding, like they were going to help and build and all of this stuff. But what did they do? Including the Clinton Foundation. I would have to ask, what were they doing over in Haiti? And I was very concerned with this disaster. It was very heartbreaking. And we hear now later on what they were doing, taking children, right? So we can connect the dots, and we heard about the children being taken by uh, people that were connected to churches and possibly the Clinton Foundation. I know there was a woman like named Laura something, right? She changed her name, and they caught her taking children from the disaster because it was a lot of chaos. And that's how these things happen, under the cover of chaos. And a lot of people believe that the earthquake was actually man-made, that there are weapons that you can, weather weapons. Do you believe that that is possible? Because that is the belief out there, is that this was a created event along with other created events that we have seen in history. Some people believe that the hurricane down in New Orleans was also a created weather event. So I don't know. Let me know what you think. I have some idea. You believe it was? Yeah, they were snatching children. So that makes me think that, yeah, they can cause an earth, like a quake, if they send some sort of weapon to upset the tectonic plates or whatever. Yeah, you can cause an event. So you believe there are weapons out there, Juan. There are weapons out there to cause things like earthquakes, hurricanes. Hey, Destiny Rose, how you doing? Welcome. Thanks for joining. So yeah, so the Haiti earthquake, it brings up even the Epstein files, because a lot of Haitian children, babies and children, were taken off of that island, and people believe that they were taken to Epstein's island, and it was a lot going on. Yes, Wyoming chick, how are you? Thanks for joining, and thanks for giving me her last name, Laura Silsby. I remember her name being brought up a lot. And yes, she is, I don't know if she's currently over the Amber Alert, but that was something that they mentioned. But she had another last name that was changed very conveniently, and there is some connection to the Clinton Foundation, allegedly. So yeah, let's see. They are admitting that they can change the weather. Okay, so a lot of you believe that weather warfare. Hmm. And you think the Clinton Foundation, when you hear of anything about Haiti, yes. And there have been Haitian immigrants that live in New York and various places. And I remember them having press conferences, and they were trying to bring awareness of the Clinton Foundation. They wanted investigations to happen. And I don't know what has happened with those investigations, but a lot of people were interested in Haiti. And I remember, what was his name? The guy that everybody says could be the son of Hugh Hefner, that has the, what is it, politically incorrect, Bill Maher. He had a t-shirt. I still have the picture of him in a t-shirt that says something, Haiti is already great or something. It's like a big gaslighting type of propaganda t-shirt about Haiti doing well. I don't agree. Haiti has had a lot of problems, political unrest, and it's a lot going on there. It's very sad. So, yeah. And I have a lot, I work with a lot of Haitian nurses, and I just had a lot of love for them and just wanted things to turn out well for them, because I realize they have a lot, they're rich in resources, and what has happened to them, and France, all the stuff that's happened with France, and just horrible. So, have I been to Haiti? No, I've never visited Haiti, but I've had, like I said, I've had friends from Haiti, and yeah, but never had an opportunity to visit Haiti. Yeah. But I just hope, I wish them well. I really hope they can have a better time and heal their nation. So we also have, this was bizarre, the memoirs of Giacomo Casanova. So we have lots of, what is it, myths, lots of folklore about Casanova. Apparently, he was a person, and he wrote some memoirs that were published or bought. Yeah, they were bought for a high price. I think it was like the highest that was ever purchased, in terms of memoir. But yeah, Casanova, this is the rendering of what Casanova looked like. Okay, the guy in the middle here. You know how they always do these portraits of the people, they're supposed to look like this. They all look the same, but very bizarre that this would be Casanova, not somebody that I would expect to be this lover, supreme. I mean, look at him. He looks like George Washington as a teenager or something, right? He's got the George Washington haircut. What's going on here? I don't know. I was a little disappointed to see this is the so-called Casanova. But this is the year that supposedly the memoir was purchased. Wonder what was in it. So also, this is the year that Christy Turlington, I used to follow a lot of the modeling culture, and I remember Christy Turlington, she was really popular around the time of the supermodels, Naomi Campbell, and you could probably name a few in there, but she was very popular around that same time of Naomi Campbell. And she did something in terms of initiatives for postpartum health, maternal health, because she had a life-threatening incident when she gave birth, and it made her, it inspired her to do this documentary called No Woman, No Cry. So you'll see her with the pictures over in all of the brown countries, India, Africa, African nations, and they're helping women. I don't know anymore, because when I see these kind of things, the philanthropy, I just don't believe in it. I think it's a cover for a lot of other stuff that's not too cool. And I was disappointed with Christy Turlington. She had really, to me, when I started hearing more about her politics and everything, I was sorry that I learned about that. She had some extreme feminist type of politics, and that just became such a turnoff. It was just so much of it, rampant. When I open up Vogue, I have to see somebody's politics, I just want to see fashion. And every magazine was ruined with all of the politicizing and the feminist movement just ruined a lot. So yeah, I was disappointed with her stance on things. I think she's really pro-abortion, and it's like, does that make sense? You're doing something for maternal health and you're pro-abortion. Just the typical. Yeah, young George. He did. He looked like young George Washington. Yeah, that's a Bob Marley song. So yeah, I don't know what's up with that, but that's the title, and you can see it won a lot of awards. So yeah, I wonder what was really going on. Hopefully she did some good. And this is also the year that a doctor, he was from the UK. I forget his name. I'll get his name, but this doctor, it was horrible. Okay, he did research and determined that the MMR, the whole childhood vaccination schedule, he found evidence to show correlation between the schedule of vaccines and autism. And back in 2010, if you made these kind of claims, they came after people. And that's what they did to this doctor. They came after him full, just full charge. And they made him, I think, apologize possibly for this. They retracted his research in the journals of medicine and stuff, and just made him look crazy. But good thing he had a lot of support. But he did find evidence. Other people have too. Some of them are probably not even around because they're getting rid of a lot of scientists. It's a whole thing with they're getting rid of them again. You've noticed that? But yeah, this doctor, I mean, just brave, very brave to go against. And I know he had to know that they were going to attack him. Let me get his name. Just bear with me a moment. I'm going to get his name. While I'm doing that, let's see. I'll also, yeah. All right. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't missing anything. So he's from the UK though. But again, it affects all of us. When one is attacked for this type of stand, it's going to, of course, affect the United States. So let me see. Dr. Let me see. Just bear with me. Dr. Wakefield, thank you. I depend on you. Yes, Dr. Andrew Wakefield. It was in the Lancet MMR Vaccine Autism Report. Now they're calling it fraudulent. You know the words. They're going to call him all kinds of quacks and conspiracy theorists and all of this stuff. So his research paper was, let's see. They barred him for serious misconduct because he sparked fears that a childhood vaccine was linked to autism. So he was barred from practicing medicine and discredited. So look at what happens when you stand up to the medical, I'll call them the cartel, the medical mob, a really nasty group of people. Very nasty. I know. I have worked around these people. They are nasty. A lot of scientists are coming up missing or found, unalive, that did work on lots of things, but definitely the vaccine stuff. But the thing about the censorship now, you notice I didn't edit myself and all of that. I'm noticing that the censorship is relaxing a bit. If you go on to X, you'll see a lot of voices that are now able to express their beliefs, their research, and share their findings without being censored into oblivion. So that's something that we have to appreciate at this moment. We've gone through a really bad season of censorship. So this would never be allowed, you know. But now I wonder where he is today. Not really sure. But a lot of people, I know Jenny McCarthy, as well as, what is his name? What's the guy that played Living Color and then he became a really big, what's his name? You know what, the comedian. He and Jenny McCarthy, they did the unspeakable and expressed their beliefs that the childhood vaccine schedule was linked to autism rates being high, because we never saw autism. And I know everything is autism now. They want to blame, if you're very creative, now you get the label of autism. I noticed that it's like everybody's autistic, you know, adult autism and stuff. I don't know what I think about it, but I find it very strange, because this is a new phenomenon. You can't tell me that our parents' generations had this going on. Yes, Jim Carrey, thank you. And previous generations, no, because the childhood vaccine schedule is pretty modern. And they add so many to the vaccine schedule. It's not right to load a baby up with all of these foreign agents into their body before they could even develop their immune system. They need their mother's colostrum and all that other good stuff to build their natural immunity. And you couldn't even say natural immunity back in 2020. Remember, if you said natural immunity, you were seen as a quack, as a conspiracy theorist, as a crackhead, anything they could call you, they did. They threw the kitchen sink at you in terms of names. Oh, let's see. We have a new. Oh, let me see what you're saying, Wyoming Chick. You said my 5-month-old grandson is not vaccinated, and the doctor and hospital staff were fine with it. Wow, that's good. Wherever they live, because you know doctors will fire you as a patient. But I'm glad that your grandson has good doctor and hospital staff. Nobody shame the parents. Nashville. Oh, thank you, Nashville. That's good to hear. That's why a lot of people want to move to Nashville. Keep Nashville good. I don't want all of the Californians moving to Nashville and bringing all their crazy liberalism and ruining Nashville. Hey there, Gigi Lynn. Welcome. Thank you for joining. You said, I told her that I would meet her by the bleachers at 3:00. She didn't even show up. What? Maybe you're talking to somebody else. I may have jumped into a conversation. Sorry. Oh my goodness. Let's see. You were called names. You were all those names. Oh, they called me a crackhead in 2020. Just for telling people to take the freaking mask off of your face and breathe some oxygen. What a concept, right? Oh, I was called a crackhead and all kinds of things. Okay. So yeah, I went, yeah, you said free my DNA. That's right. Don't let them tamper with your DNA. So yeah, so this doctor was just, persecuted back in this year. And I don't know if you watched the show Hot in Cleveland, but it premiered in 2010. And I know Betty White became a cultural phenomenon in terms of having a career span so many years. And she did die. And let me see, how old does anybody know how old Betty White was when she died? Let's see. She just went to prove that ageism doesn't have to affect everyone. So yeah, I never watched this show, but you can see the lineup. It looks like it was probably funny. Valerie Bertinelli, she's a fan fave. She also has longevity. My mother loves her. She has like cooking shows and stuff on the Food Channel. My mom loves the Food Channel. So I think Valerie does some stuff on the Food Channel. 99? Oh, you all are saying she was 90? Wait. 99 years old? Whoa. Okay. Wow. Very long life. Wonder what she did to live so long. I know they have good health care, right? Good. They should at least, right? For the money that they make. So this was the year that One Direction came out. And just continuation of these boy bands. I'm sorry if you loved One Direction, but by the time they came out, I was just over it. The whole boy band formula. And then when you heard what happened to the previous boy bands, some of them with the creepy, management and the creepy stuff that went on with the boy bands, I just don't like the concept anymore. I hope we just reject it all the way in culture and don't go back to this formula. It's really weird. And I know one of the members of this band had a really weird death overseas. And it was somehow Diddy's name was brought up. Do you know what I'm talking about? Something to do with Diddy and something weird going on. But it was just very strange how he left the world. Very tragic. So a lot of times these boy bands, when they break up, they don't do too well. But who did well this year was Adele. And I wonder, where is Adele? Because she had an amazing voice, crossover appeal, and just suddenly I don't know where she is. I think in 2020 she did something weird where she was, you know how they say you have to thank Beyonce when you win an award and all that weird stuff, but it was something strange that I remember. She was wearing this designer cat suit. Do you remember back in 2020? It was a lot of weird stuff that these celebrities were doing, and I remember some of it. Okay, she had this, I forget what designer, some big designer, and it had like these half moons on all over like a cat suit. And I think Beyonce had one too, but she was just paying homage to Beyonce. And it was a little strange, like worshipful. I don't know. Weird, weird, weird. And I know she did the thank you Beyonce when she won her award and everything. But it just bothers me that a lot of talented people have just been put on the shelf so that one person can just have a monopoly on everything when it comes to music. It's not exciting when one person is the only one propped up. It's just, I don't know. I'm over it. But yeah, you said she's working on her next album. Okay, good. Thank you for giving me the update because I've just been wondering, where is she? She was just so good. All right, so then we have Nicki Minaj, and she's been able to maintain, you've probably heard of her recent numbers. Just she is winning regardless of the angry mob and Rock Nation and Jay-Z and all the stuff that they are doing to her. Allegedly, I don't think it's allegedly, it's her own testimony. If you go on X, she tells you what they're doing to her, and it's really terrible. So they've made me a fan of hers. I wasn't even into her music or anything. I thought it was too sexual. And, I didn't like the stuff with Roman and all that stuff. I wasn't digging that kind of stuff. But everybody has a chance to repent. I mean, I've repented for things. So I can't judge her in that way. If she has changed and gone back to her original path, that it looks like she was put on the right path when she was young, and we stray from the path. But the important thing is she came back, and she is a protected child of the Most High Yah, as far as I can see. So she is winning regardless of what they are doing. So this was the year that she had something called the pink something. Does anybody know what it was? Pink, let's see. Pink Friday. And it was just big. It was her first full-length album. And she's a rapper, Pink Friday. So it came out the label Cash Money Records. So that's Lil Wayne and those guys, right? So yeah, there you are. That was a little bit of music and the culture. And in terms of movies and stuff, do you remember Inception? This was one of those type of movies that made you think. I might want to watch it again. I'm not sure. Did anybody see Inception? Let me know. Well, the definition of inception, of course, is the beginning of something. And the movie, let's see, let's give a quick, for anybody who hasn't watched the movie, Inception. How many people have watched the movie? Let me know. And did you like the movie? Did you find it really deep? Let me know. You did watch it, Juan. What did you think of it? So it's a science fiction action film written and directed by Christopher Nolan. And Emma Thomas was producer also, starring, of course, you can see Leonardo DiCaprio. He hasn't, I don't know, been disappointed by Leonardo and some of his connections now that we're looking at things. All right, so he was playing a professional thief who steals information by infiltrating the subconscious of his targets. He is offered a chance to have his criminal history erased as payment for the implantation of another person's idea into a target's subconscious. Wow. That's pretty deep, isn't it? So they call it dream stealing based on lucid dreaming. So it has to do with dreaming. But you can see the memes were, of course, popular. And this would be the year that Alex Rodriguez and Kobe Bryant, they won a lot in terms of they were the youngest in their fields to ever do it. And I know they said Kobe surpassed Wilt Chamberlain in this particular year. So they were living their glory years. And glory, unfortunately, is very short-lived. It really makes you think about it. It's very humbling. When you think about the glory, especially sports glory, seems to be very short. But it probably felt good in the moment. Let's see. What do we have next? All right, so 2010 is when the iPad launched. And the iPad, again, I mentioned this earlier, a bigger space of real estate for your social media. I love the iPad. I haven't used an iPad in a while, but I know that, my mother loves the iPad. We got her, and it's great in terms of a big view. And it also helped to pull us in more to the social media. So you can see how everything hit at the same time. And you can see now in this retrospective how we became very tied in to the technology and the social media platforms. Everything is just, you can't tell me this wasn't planned. Everything planned very just beautifully for them, not for us and not for the young people. I really feel bad for people that had to grow up in this age, because being Gen X, I know we feel guilty that we handed this world over to the young people. Now they're suing the social media companies because of the mental health issues that are developing because of these devices. And it's not easy. I can't imagine growing up in this time. It is really hard. Absolutely planned. Yes. They released the technology. It's been around before the resets, okay? That's what I believe. And this is the year that for a quick laugh, do you remember the bedroom intruder meme? This was Antoine Dotson. And you remember Antoine Dotson. If you want, let me find, do you want to let me know, do you want to watch Antoine Dotson, his what made him famous? Because you can become famous overnight. You know, this is the whole going viral. And so this is the beginning kind of the going viral. I wonder when the Sweet Brown, what when she said, I ain't got time for that. I ain't got time for that. Remember her? Well, I don't know. Does she come after Antoine Dotson? Do you want to watch it? You know, it's probably me. I want to watch it. Let me line it up, okay? Give me a minute. We're going to watch Antoine Dotson. He may be the first of the viral famous people. I'm not sure, but I kind of think maybe. And also the double rainbow guy. I won't play his, but yeah, let's watch Antoine Dotson. The bedroom intruder, Antoine Dotson. He became an American internet sensation, and they turned him into such a famous guy. And I think the fame really, it hurt him. He talked about it later, and when you have fame that comes on you this fast, it can't be good. And it really did not turn out so great for him. He tried to, I guess parlay it into a career, but fame is what it is. It's a double-edged sword. Okay, I got it lined up. Let me are you ready for some laughs? Let me get I have to stop this screen. I'm here. All right, let me line it up. I've found it, and then we'll go back to continue. Okay, Antoine Dotson. All right, let's get.
Who woke up to a strange man in bed with her. The woman screamed. Her brother rushed in to help and tried to fight the offender off. That break-in happened early this morning in the 500 block of Webster Drive in Huntsville. WFF 48's Elizabeth Jello caught up with the victim. Elizabeth, emotions were running high.
And Mark, the woman, the victim, tells us that a man broke into her house and tried to rape her. Her brother went in and he tried to help her out, but the man got away, leaving behind, though, evidence of his visit. Kelly Dodson was asleep with her little girl inside their apartment on Webster Drive when
I was attacked by some idiot from out here in the projects.
Dodson says her attacker used a garbage can to climb onto the unit's ledge, open the upstairs window, and then he got in bed with her.
He tried to rape me. He tried to pull my clothes off.
Dodson struggled with her attacker, knocking over items in her bedroom. Antoine Dodson heard his sister scream and ran to help.
Well, obviously, we have a rapist in Lincoln Park. He's climbing in your windows. He's snatching your people up, trying to rape them. So y'all need to hide your kids, hide your wife, and hide your husband because they're raping everybody out here.
The attacker got loose and went out the upstairs window, but he did leave something behind.
We got your T-shirt. You done left fingerprints and all. You are so dumb. You are really dumb, for real.
A crime scene investigator photographed and dusted for prints on the lid of the garbage can and the window pane and ledge. Dodson says he's never seen the perp before, but sends this warning to whoever is responsible.
You don't have to come and confess that you did it. We're looking for you. We gonna find you. I'm letting you know now, so you can run and tell that, homeboy.
Now, if you have any information on this crime, you're urged to call Huntsville Police Department. We'll have much more from the victims of that attack coming up tonight at 6. Report.
I don't know how Elizabeth Gentle was able to keep her composure. Look at her. She's a true professional. My goodness. I forgot how funny that was. I like homeboy. He was so tough, wasn't he? Tough talking Antoine. So some of you know about Antoine. You're from Huntsville. Is very deep. Yeah, isn't that Huntsville where they have the space center in Huntsville? So what are you trying to tell me? Are we going to go deep down a rabbit hole? Is Antoine Dotson a part of some kind of secret order? Antoine Dotson is from where I live, Huntsville, Alabama. Crazy. He had his 15 minutes of fame. Yes, he did. And it is still a classic funny thing. Oh my goodness, the whole thing. Like, we're going to find you, homeboy. He scares you. He's a tough talking guy. Oh my gosh. You said that Childish Gambino song is playing. Which one? Let me know. Okay, let's go back to our regular. Let's see. I'm going to get rid of that. Stop that screen. Go back to our slides to finish up. All right. Antoine Dotson. I got really I had to. I'm sorry. Thank you for indulging me to hear Antoine Dotson again. All right. So we have, okay, think about this. Like I told you, everything converging at one time. So we have the launch of Instagram in this year. Is that amazing? So you have the iPad, Instagram, all starting around this time. That now you see the virality of fame, and now it just, to me, I can see how all of this has, it's just amazing. It has snowballed. So these are the guys that started Instagram. And I forgot their names. Give me a minute. Does anybody know? All right, the Instagram guys, you know, again, I don't want to hear their origin story because I don't believe any of the origin stories. I believe that these people are tied in somehow with the big letter organizations. If you look, a lot of them have fathers that are high up in the military and all of that stuff. It's just, I've already told you, you've heard my spiel. I don't believe all of these. I started it in the garage. I started it in whatever. I was in a van living by the river and I started this. Okay, so what are these guys' names? I know you guys are probably going to get it before me. I just forgot. Sorry. Okay, the guys that started Instagram. All right. Kevin Systrom and Mike Krieger. So it initially started as a platform for pictures and just, it was mainly pictures. And, you know, the aspect ratio was a square 1-to-1, if you're into that. And it was a beta application. When it was released in 2010, they were testing this prototype, but, you know, I don't believe that. And it received 25,000 registrations in the first day that it launched. All right. And you can see the changing of the initial logos. And now we have this sort of colorful, it just, I don't know. Look at how it had a little more of a, what would you say, like a mom and pop look, like an old Polaroid. Who had a Polaroid back then? And the very first Instagram post was of a dog. You see the guy with his foot and the dog. So yeah, they're telling us that was the very first one. And yeah, so Instagram started out. Hasn't been around that long. All right, so this is the year that SpaceX, you have Elon Musk, African American, and a lot of us don't believe any of this stuff, like space. I don't believe in space. You could call me names. You could try to, I don't care. I don't believe in space anymore. I don't believe in anything NASA's doing or Katy Perry. I mean, think about it. Katy Perry is an astronaut. Katy Perry and Oprah Winfrey's best friend, Gail, astronauts. So it's just, I don't know what they're doing, if they're trying to get out of here. It's no getting out. We're in the snow globe together. Nobody's getting out and nobody's getting in. It's a fixed system. Sorry. Every time they go up, what do? It's like they go into a curve, and where do they land? In the water. So that's kind of interesting. But I don't believe any of this stuff, the SpaceX, and then it's called Dragon stuff. Sorry, our friend Dragon, but I mean, I'm just saying there's something to this. You believe that we're in a firmament. Yes, that's what I believe. Nobody's getting out. Sorry, it's a snow globe. Nobody's getting in, nobody's getting out. So I do believe that the planets and everything, they are angelic beings. They have certain roles. I believe in the biblical cosmology at this point. I am not going back to believing in NASA and their lies. Look at all of the footage from the last thing. I mean, you could look at wires and cables, and they're flying around. Their foreheads are disappearing. I mean, think about it. It's ridiculous. So, yeah. I don't know what they're doing. I really don't. I don't know what it is. I'm up for any suggestions, ideas. I think they're trying to get out of here, or they're trying to storm the heavens. Some people think they're trying to storm the throne of the Most High Yah, which is highly ridiculous. Yeah, you're not getting out. So yeah, this is also the year of The Walking Dead. And this was filmed in Atlanta. That was very interesting. I know that it's cheaper to film productions in Atlanta. Hollywood, moved to Atlanta and other places, probably Tennessee, places in Tennessee, Louisiana. But this was filmed in Atlanta. So a lot of local Atlantans and from other cities in Georgia, they were getting lots of work as extras, playing zombies. I didn't get into this TV show. It was a little too gory. I don't like gore. No, thank you. I've been a nurse for over 30 years. I've seen I've been knee deep in gore, and it's just not entertaining for me. So people that like to watch gore and movies that are really, violent, and I just don't do it. It's because of my PTSD and working in the field, trauma nursing and stuff. Yeah. So I'm done. I'm good. But it was a good show. A lot of people enjoyed it. Who liked The Walking Dead? Anybody out there? You can't with zombies? I mean, they were telling us we're going to have a zombie apocalypse and all of that. I have a book, and it tells you how to survive any disaster, and they have a zombie apocalypse, right? And didn't they say that whose website had it on the website about surviving a zombie apocalypse? You must admit you were really into that show. That's okay, Karen. We understand. I heard it was a good show. So we're going to have to change that. Yeah, I have my little healing, I do things to heal myself. It's like anything. If you have PTSD, like the Vietnam vets and stuff, you deal with it. You acknowledge that you have it and you do things to heal. I think I've done pretty good. Pretty good. It's not me, of course, not all me. It's the Most High Yah. I've leaned in very good to the Most High, and He has gotten me through a lot of my PTSD, healed a lot of it even. You were emergency medicine too? Yeah. So you understand. Yes, thank you, Wyoming Chick. It was the CDC, had it on their website about a zombie apocalypse. So there you are. Yeah, The Walking Dead. So that premiered in 2010. And in 2010, we had the world's tallest building erected called the Burj Khalifa over in Dubai. So they consider this to be a global metropolis. And if you've been paying attention to what's been happening over in, say, Dubai, I've been watching reports about Dubai, and I heard about, the porta potty culture and all of the gross stuff that goes on. But it has this extreme luxury also, and extreme poverty, and they keep the society very controlled. I've never been interested in visiting Dubai. It just doesn't appeal to me, just to be around rich people and all of the luxury. It just doesn't appeal to me. I'd rather go to Cumberland Island, and look at the wild horses. That is luxury to me. But Dubai and that Palm island that they built, and just listening to some of the things, they had some fires that broke out on some of the, I guess, the fronds of the palms, and this is all built up from the water, and it's just very, it seems very Potemkin villagey to me, and it just doesn't appeal to me. So this Burj Khalifa and just this race to have the tallest skyscrapers, it's empty and soulless. Everything is just metal and glass, and where are the trees? Where's the natural beauty? This place looks like Disneyland for the rich people. Yeah, they had some flooding, and we hear about some of the things that go on over there, but they've been having some issues, and it's bound to start falling off. I remember actually one of the first people to start, I guess, trying to make it aspirational. I used to watch The View. I told you that already. I used to watch The View when what was her name? Star Jones was on there, and she was insufferable. Star Jones. So Star Jones was always about the luxury and bragging about her riches and life and all that. So she was one of the first people I remember really talking about going over to Dubai, and it was such a thing, and I was not impressed. I've had opportunities to stop through Dubai, and I opted to do other stops rather than go there. I just knew that it doesn't appeal to me at all. It looks gross to me. I'm sorry for everybody who thinks it's so great. It's gross. And then knowing about what the people do and the parties, it's gross, disgusting. They could have it. Star Jones, let's see, Star Jones has, she's a judge now. That's good. I'm glad she was able to pivot. I don't think they liked her too much on The View. Maybe, I don't know. She was a lot to take. But yeah, I liked her a little bit, but she was just too much sometimes. But yeah, that's it for this rewind. Let me see what else I've missed. This was basically, a lot of shifts technologically, politically, culturally, And oh, we started viral slang. Selfie started. And YOLO. What is YOLO? You only live once. Yes. Okay, that became a thing. I think Khloe Kardashian used to yell that a lot. YOLO. And Kesha had a song called TikTok. I didn't know about that song. But yeah, so we have pretty much lots of issues in terms of technology and how it was starting to affect us, mental health and everything. And we will continue rewinding and looking at the culture and what's happening to the root cause analysis. We'll just continue rewinding. So this is wrapping up, and not, of course, it's not totally comprehensive. This was just an overview of 2010 and episode 47 for 2011. I'll let you know when we rewind that one. But I want to thank you. I want to thank everybody for their support. You know, this is the moment where I just thank you for everything. And I let you know, if you do want to support, this is listener supported. If you want to do anything, tips, support, it's right there. You can hit me up there. I want to thank you. Even for anybody who has, I now have t-shirts. Yes, I have t-shirts, people. So if you want to look at the stuff that I have below the video, I have a t-shirt, my first t-shirt that I designed, the Black Sheep. And maybe I'll play that song. Let's play some music. Thank you, Juan. Oh, that was so sweet. Thank you so much. I appreciate all the support. Like I said, I want to always invest in what I'm doing, make it better. You know, I'm a one-person operation over here. Karen is my beautiful Harlem Sentinel. I thank you, Karen, for everything. And just, I will let you know. We will get together again. And let's do something more, less formal. We'll do just another open thing. I want to do something where we just hang out. And I do want to drop a link. I want to hear from you all again. We did that before on my old channel. Remember? A lot of you came up. Even you, Wild Dragon, 420 Wild Dragon came on. I'm going to drop links and let's chat. I want to hear where you are, what you're doing. If you have a business you want to, you know, let us know about. If you've written a book or you've done things, and I'll keep you posted. My book is going to be published soon. Still working on the publishing is the other half of it. You know, once you write it, that's a whole big thing. But yeah, I'll keep you posted on some of the things, you know, I'm doing creatively. And I just appreciate the support so much. I love you all. And I will be back very soon. Thank you. Good night, Juan. Thank you again. Oh, thank you, Gigi. I appreciate you. I'm so glad you have enjoyed hanging out. You're welcome, Kathy. Thank you. And yes, enjoy your weekend. We're getting close to the weekend. Let me play a song. And this is called Black Sheep, because a lot of us relate to being black sheep, right? So yeah, I wrote it in that vibe. So let's listen to the Black Sheep song.
They counted me out. But I was never lost.
No. Like,
Didn't fit the mold, never moved that way. Try to box me in, I just broke the frame. different kind of rhythm in my DNA. Now I walk it out, I don't gotta explain. I took the long road, yeah, I earned my stride. Every closed door just refined the drive, but they call too much, now it's on my shine. Had to stand alone just to get a line, no turning back now. I see it clear, what felt like lost brought me right here. Black sheep, still I rise, so no deep, no disguise. Every scar, turn a light, now I'm living in my right. Black sheep, feel the beat, strong heart, steady feet. All that doubt, out of reach, now I move how I'm meant to be. Didn't follow crowds, I was built to lead. Quiet in the storm, that was strength in me. Now the air feel clean, I can finally breathe. Everything I needed was underneath. Let it play out, I don't rush the pace. Got a different kind of time and I embrace. All that pressure turn to open space. Now I stand tall in my rightful place. Let it ride, I don't fold. All that weight turned to gold. What was hidden, now it shows. I was built for this road. Black sheep, still I rise. Sun on me, no disguise. Every scar, turn to light. Now I'm living in my Still standing, still shining.
All right. So also I have that is also going to be under the video if you want to do the t-shirt and also download the Black Sheep song. I have that. And I know somebody asked me about the other one. So bear with me. I'm going to get things up on the little boutique, the store, call it my little Black Sheep mercantile. So yeah, those are ways you can support the broadcast. And I appreciate all of the support. Love you. And I'll be with you real soon. Okay. Take care.